And there's really not much of a preview in regard to tonight. I really don't know what to expect. We've got a few things to keep an eye out for. Nothing massive. Nothing, I say nothing massive. I mean, nothing really in regards to last week. Last week we got the refresh. We got a new layout, a new arena. Obviously, we got the wedding between Dexter and Indi. We also got a new champion in Tommaso Ciampa. Like, we were spoilt last week. There's no two ways about it. I thought the show was very good. I thought there was parts of it that still needed developing. There was bits of the show last week that still needed a bit of work. But I thought there was a really good foundation there. And honestly, they could do, what I hope is that whoever is backstage, I hope they're just bursting with ideas. I kind of felt like NXT was maybe running out of ideas a little bit. But I have enjoyed the way. That's been quite original. We haven't seen anything like the Indi Dexter love story. So that, in all fairness, that was quite original. But I'm hoping that there's some real fresh forward thinking in regards to this new NXT 2.0. And just to kind of get people a little bit excited, there is an article doing the rounds, a report doing the rounds that Vince is interested in making NXT kind of a little bit more extreme. So I got sent this article. Let's have a look. So this is to do with, it's not going to be like Extreme Championship Wrestling, but it is going to push the boundary a little bit more. Let me see if I can find it, because I was literally in the process of doing that just as we started. Edgier. Edgier is the word they've gone for, not extreme. NXT 2.0 likely heading towards edgier product at the encouragement of Vince McMahon. So this is on Fightful. It is behind a paywall. So unfortunately, I'm not on their Patreon, so I've not been seeing it. But let's have a look. Heel by Nature has got a report as well, which is probably based on that Fightful one. The changes to NXT could be set to continue. Last week saw the debut of NXT 2.0. Various names made their debuts, including Bron Breakker. Tommaso Ciampa won the title at the end. However, according to Fightful, NXT's target audience could be set to change with discussions of an edgier product. These ideas came directly from Vince McMahon, who has reportedly taken a bigger role within NXT since the revamp, and included NXT 2.0 targeting more of that 18 to 34 demographic due to more aggression and harsher language. Keeping up with current affairs in promos and character verbiage was another point that was noted during the discussions, along with more leniency on female character gear. What does that mean? What does that mean? Leniency on female character gear? I mean, that's like, bra and panties is coming back. Yeah! Gotta give the people what they want. So, more leniency on female character gear. If that is true, can we make Linda McMahon an NXT superstar right now, please? I don't even know like why she's not there, but honestly, if we're getting edgy with female ring attire, we need to get Linda in there. While these changes have yet to be confirmed, one talent noted to Fightful that they hadn't been made aware. Oh, okay. Well, Fightful's reporting it. But still waiting for it to be confirmed. So, obviously, that's a whole nother conversation as well, isn't it? The drama, the fallout of Meltzer, and news being spread around that is the wrong side of true. So, the fact that he said, like, 1,500 people left, and now a load of people are saying that's a load of rubbish. So, yeah, there's a lot. In fairness, there's not loads of NXT stuff, but there's loads of talking points. And Karen is here. Karen, who seems to be even more into this kind of gossip than what Harley was, which is kind of hard to believe because Harley just seemed to live his life for wrestling gossip and all that kind of juicy insider stuff. But Karen, I mean, just seems to be really, really on top of it. So let's see what Karen's got to say. Karen says, Days, Raw got 1.7. I think Karen actually gets all this information sent directly from the TV companies now. That's how into it Karen is. Karen said, Days, Raw got 1.79 million. Hey, that's good. Who remembers last night when I said, this feels big? I reckon this is going to do about 1.75. And now it's come through at 1.79. Guys, you should celebrate your successes. Yeah. So Raw got 1.79 and 0.49 in 18 to 49. That is up from last week's 1.67 and 0.43. Roman is a draw. Confirmed. The only thing I would say is that they probably want to do it again like next week. The only reason I say that is because you do run the risk of people tuning into Raw this week because of what Big E did last week. That'd be my only thought. You know, how many people tuned in this week because the Big E's the new champion and people love Big E? So, I don't know, if we were going to confirm that, like, this is Roman moving the needle, then probably want to see a few more results first. But it's very positive. I mean, I know it might not be a number that sets the world on fire, but, you know, the fact that it hasn't dropped, it hasn't even held, but it's actually increased by 120,000 whilst going up against NFL is pretty good news. So, yeah. I think they would take that. But the problem you've got is that you've done a title match week 1. You've had Roman Reigns week 2. Like, what the flip are you going to do in week 3? So that is going to be quite the conundrum. I mean, the only thing I would say is that it is going to be the fallout to Extreme Rules, which is this Sunday. So whatever happens at Extreme Rules, you're probably going to get a little bump for Raw anyway. So maybe actually this week will be all right. Maybe Extreme Rules will give them a little bit of a bump, and certainly if anything significant happens for Raw, and maybe someone comes back, although I can't think who that would be, but you know, maybe people would tune into Raw wanting to see, you know, what's going to happen, what's the next part in that story, or maybe there's a major title change, like Alexa wins, so then we get like a big Alexa segment. Don't know. I think certainly Extreme Rules and the fallout of it could help with Raw's rating. But they might need a little bit more than that. So, Days, how are you? I'm looking forward to NXT tonight, as I didn't get to watch live last week. As the next day, I was on a day trip, so I was asleep. But I am looking forward to AEW. Ben, shout out to you. Oh yeah, AEW's big this week, isn't it? Totally forgot about that. That's it's the big one. It's the Grand Slam. So, haven't even set that up yet. I am literally at the point where I'm having to make so many graphics because of the football channel that I'm going like a day at a time. So, I really do need to try and get ahead of myself a little bit. But, yes, that'll be big tomorrow. Definitely NXT tonight doesn't feel as big. But I think what you'll get tonight is maybe a little bit more of a glimpse of what a normal episode will be like. Last week, obviously, was the relaunch, and we got a brand new NXT champion. Maybe this week will just give you a bit more of a taste of what to expect week in, week out. So I'm hoping that we get a really, really solid show. Really, really solid show. And they are just playing last week's episodes, and I do love the feel of it. I really do love the feel of it. I think it feels... It doesn't even feel like the same space that they were in before. It does feel like a different space compared to the NXT. Like, it's the same room, but it doesn't really feel that way. So I do like it. It definitely feels open, fresher, airier, more room to breathe. Focus seems to be kind of like the slight change in camera angle. Focus seems to be on in-ring, and yeah, I really like it. If I was to go to Florida, I would definitely want to go. As I said, I'm just getting distracted by Bron Breakker, who I'm sure we will see this week as well. Let's scroll down, and Days, can you imagine if NXT did a bikini contest like they did in 2002 with Tori Wilson and Stacy Keibler, but only Mandy Rose versus Indi Hartwell? If you'd have said Linda McMahon and Vince McMahon in a bikini contest, then we're talking. I don't know what that means. I'm guessing it means that they're going to be a little bit more open to taking a few gambles with female ring attire. I don't think we're going to get bra and panties and bikinis and all this kind of stuff. I don't want it, if I'm being truthful. I don't even really want them to get riskier with the ring attires, because to be perfectly honest, I just want really good women's wrestlers. I don't know that I don't know quite if I want that kind of audience. I don't know if I want those kind of guys that are going to tune in just because the girls are wearing next to nothing. I don't know if I want that audience. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll see how it goes. At the moment, this is just a report from Fightful, who are pretty good in all fairness. So, it's not that I don't believe it, but we all know that saying something and aiming for something, by the time it actually gets implemented, it could have drastically changed. Vince McMahon only has to wake up and all of a sudden everything's completely different. So, yeah, we'll see where it goes. Did you hear Fightful reporting that WWE asked Bryan Danielson to not do the Yes Chant because they know AEW will blow the roof off? I haven't seen that report, no. Days, me, you don't want me. No, sure, William, if you want to be in that bikini contest with Linda, I think that's better, actually. It would be great to see one of our very own be represented in that way. So, no, yeah, brilliant. That's a much better idea, William. You and Linda in that bikini contest. And I know where my vote's going. What does news mean? What does news mean? What's this conversation we're having now? Where are we now? Daniel said, I'm interested in NXT tonight, but extremely excited for Grand Slam tomorrow. What are your predictions for the matches? I think some are 50-50 like Britt and Ruby, and Kenny and Bryan could go either way. I mean, I suppose I would be surprised if Daniel Bryan was going to just come in and win the title. I'd be surprised. It's not for the belt, though, isn't it? Is it for the belt? I'll have to double check it, but I remember Daniel saying, like, this is to establish who is the best. He's not even interested in the title. But I don't know if it's booked for the title or not. I can't remember. As I said, one day at a time. That's how I'm living my life right now. So, if it's for the title, then, it won't change hands. If it's not for the title, then I think Daniel Bryan could win. In regards to Britt and Ruby, I think Britt will keep the belt. Again, it's soon. It's all very soon, isn't it? It's all very soon for people to come in and win titles. So, I was quite surprised when Ruby Soho won that Battle Royal and that Casino Battle Royal and got the opportunity. So, I think what we'll do is we'll try and start tomorrow a little bit earlier, maybe, so that we can do like a bit of a predictions, have a little run down the card. I mean, it is a juicy, juicy show. So we normally start an hour before. Maybe we'll do like an hour and a half or something. Don't know. We'll have a look. We'll have a look at it. So, yeah, I've not had a chance to kind of have a look at that card yet. Days, do you know if there's any truth in Paige returning to the ring? There's nothing confirmed, but I know that she wants to. And I think she's starting to come towards the end of her WWE contract, and maybe she's hopeful that once she's out of that, she can, as soon as she's out of that, she can do whatever she wants. I mean, if she wants to return to the ring, then that's absolutely fine, but she's putting her health in her own hands. I don't know that AEW would medically clear her or Impact. I don't know, because I don't know the extent of her injuries. But it certainly seems like WWE won't do it. So I think we're looking at her potentially getting out of her WWE contract, going somewhere else, and then trying to get medically cleared. So I haven't seen any reports that she's like on her way back or anything like this. But I have seen her talking about like freedom and all this kind of stuff, so definitely seems like she's got aspirations. Right, let's go down. Life of Daz says Days just wants an underboob match. That was cool. Actually, if we get more of that, that's fine. Daniel's quote was, one day this will be for the belt, but now it's just about who's better. The match isn't booked for the title due to that fact. Right. So, I think he'll win them. I mean, why not have it? So it's not for the title, so why have him lose? So, yeah, I mean, that kind of makes it seem like he's going to win. It'll be a real swerve if he now doesn't, in all fairness. But I think Daniel Bryan will win that. Hazard Talks Footy said Days PW Insider reported earlier today that Edge is expected to return after Crown Jewel, as the plan is for him to return and face Big E. But they also said that Vince wants Edge to win the belts. Thoughts? Big E versus Edge could be fun. A like mutual respect type thing. Unless you're going to turn one heel. Because at the moment they're both faces. And I don't mind face versus face. Edge winning the belt. I kind of feel like it probably should happen at some point, because he's kind of come back and he's been around that main event scene. He's tried a couple of times. He's failed a couple of times. I think people would like to see Edge get that moment again. So I kind of feel like it should happen, but it's hard to say when. Like, I really don't think cutting short Big E's title reign to give it to Edge is the right way forward. I certainly don't think Edge is the right person to beat Roman Reigns. So it's kind of like right person, wrong time. That's the problem with Edge. Is the right person to be a champion at the wrong time. There's no time or opportunity right now for him to win the titles. I don't want him to get it off Roman, because whoever beats Roman's going to get a good push. And I don't think that should go to Edge. Edge is a made man. He doesn't need it. Everyone knows my thoughts. Finn Balor should get that. Or someone else that's up and coming. Edge doesn't need it. So I wouldn't go that way. Having him beat Big E doesn't seem like the right way forward. It could be a fun match, but I wouldn't have Edge win. So yeah, my thoughts are, I've no issue with him being champion. I just don't see how we quite get there at the moment. But end of next year, 12 months time, see where we are, see what's happening. We could maybe pull the trigger then. Life of Daz, shout out to you. Darby Stickfigure said Edge should win the Intercontinental Championship. They should do an Oggy and the Cockroaches like storyline with Reginald and the three others. Brony said it would have been better if Edge beat Lashley for the title. Big E became champion way too quick, in my opinion. Days, what do you think of a time limit draw for Danielson and Omega? That's cool. Time limit draws used to be a thing back in the day. A lot. They used to happen a lot. Not in WWE, but in NWA. And Ric Flair wrestled lots of time limit draws. So, and Kenny's done it as well against Okada. So, yeah, I'd be really down for that. I think that's a good idea. I think a lot of people would be... Well, I tell you what, it'd be a test as to whether people really are wrestling fans or not, wouldn't it? I know a lot of people have got like WWE as the sports entertainment company, and they've got AEW as the wrestling company. If they go to if they do an hour-long match, I mean, it should be incredible, and it should, like, you know, be able to hold people's attention for that long, because I've seen many fantastic hour-long matches, but there might be a few people that struggle with it. That's a lot of in-ring action. But I'd be down for it. Could you see Hangman returning tomorrow after the match? Say Bryan wins and then gets attacked by Hangman. He could come out and make the save. Are they turning Hangman heel, are they? I'm not into that. I kind of feel like Hangman is the rightful person to beat Kenny. So I wouldn't have him attacking Daniel, because you run the risk of him turning heel if you do that. So it could be that Hangman comes down and helps Daniel, because you know, maybe the Young Bucks come down, maybe Don Callis is beating up Daniel. Daniel's on his own. Maybe the Jurassic Express come down, they get beaten up, and you know, maybe Hangman makes the save. So Hangman's back. Bryan has proved that he's better than Kenny. Hangman's back to be the one to take the title off Omega, and we move forward. I could vibe with that. I could definitely vibe with all of that. William said, if I showed up on NXT and was wearing a bikini, oh god, dreams come true, I would be a legend. I would dance and blow kisses to Steve Austin. I tell you, you would be a legend. You'd be the biggest legend in this community. But in many ways, William, you already are. So yeah, I would love to see that. And I feel like it's really possible as well. I don't feel like it's that far out the realms of, like, you know, reality. I kind of feel like if someone said, oh look, there's William in the crowd in a bikini, I'd be like, ha. Yeah, you're right, yeah. Like, it wouldn't even be that surprising, so one day. Brony said, you read the message wrong. He said, after Bryan wins, he gets attacked, and then Hangman comes out and makes the save. Hang on. After Bryan wins, he gets attacked, then Hangman comes out and makes the save. Yes, I agree with that. That's how I would book it as well. I think... you wouldn't have, like, Hangman attack Daniel, because then you'd run the risk of him turning heel. So have him come out, make the save, build towards him and Omega, have Daniel go off and, I don't know, maybe do some kind of six-man match, like Daniel and Jurassic Express versus Adam Cole and the Young Bucks, something along those lines. Everyone's got a feud going forward. Omega can drop the belt to Hangman, and you know, it kind of moves Daniel Bryan out the way. So yeah, works. CCSYT said, I think Hangman should take the title off Omega so that Cole can take the title off Hangman as revenge for Hangman killing Cole. Days, an update on BT Sport. DAZN are in advanced talks. A deal is expected in a few weeks. WWE might be DAZNed soon. WWE are shown on BT Sport over here, so if DAZN does buy BT Sport, then yes, they will be DAZNed. Alexa Bliss Gamer said, Alexa Bliss talked back against Meltzer on Twitter. I saw this. So, I am struggling a bit with this story, to be honest. I mean, I at first couldn't quite get my head around it. Now I've got my head around it. I'm still sort of struggling with it, because he's been told that 1,500 people have left during this segment. Now, I don't know. I mean, there's a few ways to look at it. First of all, is he just completely making it up? Now, there's going to be people out there saying, yeah, he is completely making it up, right? Now, if he is completely making it up, that's obviously appalling, that he's just making up fake news, and there'll be people saying he's got a history of doing this, right? he does also have a history of actually having sources and actually getting things right. But he does also have a history of getting things wrong, right? So I'm not defending Dave Meltzer, but I just don't know where I sit on it. I don't know where I sit on it. He says that he was told this. He wasn't there. He didn't see it, but he was told that about 1,500 people. I don't know how you tell it's such a weird number. It's not as if someone went, yeah, about an eighth. Like, I saw, like, you know, a whole segment of people leave. Like, just a weird number. 1,500 people. 1,500 people got up and walked out during Alexa Bliss's segment. She's turned around and going, no, they didn't. Right? I don't know. I don't know who to believe. I don't know who's telling the truth. I don't know if 1,500 people did. I mean, if there was only 8,000 there, then I feel like, yes, 1,500 is a very significant amount. So I kind of feel like she probably would have noticed. But then she probably would also say, no, they didn't. Like, if I was her and someone was saying, oh, your segment was so bad, 1,500 people left, I'd also be like, no, they didn't. What you on about? Everyone loved it. I got hugs backstage. Everyone loved it. Shut up. So, I don't know. I don't know where the truth is. I think the bigger thing as well is I don't care. I don't care. This is, like, it's a conversation about... It's not a conversation about wrestling. It's a conversation about if Dave Meltzer is telling the truth or not. I just kind of find that a bit boring. So, yeah, don't know. I feel like life's bigger than that. CCSYT says, you can't hotshot an important title because someone's hot. You got to do it in storyline. That's why I like Cole getting revenge on Hangman for killing him. Karen said, fans in attendance have squashed the report. Well, I don't know. What fans? How many fans? Are they Alexa Bliss fans? Have Alexa Bliss fans that have been at the show said, no, they didn't? Like, I just don't know. I don't know who's telling the truth. It could be completely made up. As I said, I'm not defending him. I don't know what the truth is. Do I think 1,500 people got up and left? No, I don't. I don't believe that. I don't believe that 1,500 people got up and left. But do I believe that someone told Dave Meltzer that about 1,500 people got up and left? Yes. Yeah, I probably do. Thinking of, like, people that hated that segment and, got in touch with Dave and said, yeah, about 1,500 people got up and just walked out during that. Like, I could see Dave being told that. I could see him being told that. And then he's mentioned it on his podcast. And then Alexa and people have gone, no, that's not true. I don't know. I don't know. I find it quite difficult. I mean, like, I don't know. There's a narrative on Twitter to just lay into Dave Meltzer, and that's fine. I mean, I ain't got a dog in this fight. If you want to do that, do that. I don't care. But, I mean, like, putting that to one side, I don't know. I don't know if he's making it up. I don't know if he was told it. Maybe without getting it confirmed, he shouldn't have mentioned it. Maybe, like, without checking with other people or checking with his sources backstage. But, I mean, I don't know. Let me know. What do you think? Let me know. It would be physically impossible to know how many people left during a segment. It's impossible for people. It's impossible. People get up to go for food, concessions, bathroom all the time. Step outside and smoke. I agree with that. Yeah. Abdi said, Days Drew. Here we go. Days Raw Drew. There we go. Did it. Days Raw Drew. I don't know why that caught me out. Days Raw Drew 1.7 million against Football this week, and we're just 7,000 from averaging 1.8. Do you think Roman made the difference? We spoke about this. I think you can't quite tell yet, because I think there was a big title change last week. I think there's a lot of love for Big E, and I honestly think we're doing a disservice to Big E. I think we're doing a disservice to Big E by not thinking that some of that was him. because Big E has been in the New Day and has been a super popular person for a long time. So Big E winning the title may have had an effect for this week's Raw anyway. So I would imagine that a percentage of that increase was Roman, but I would imagine a percentage was Big E as well. So I wouldn't lay it all onto Roman. I'm a massive Roman fan. I love Roman, but I wouldn't lay it all onto Roman. I think that does Big E a disservice. So, and obviously people forget Roman, forget like Big E. Like people will just be wanting to see Bloodline versus New Day. Like that could have done it as well. Forget like the individuals, just that match with those 6 people in that could have done it as well. So yeah, I think there was potentially a few reasons, but I don't think Roman hurt that number by any means. I think he definitely played a part, but there's no way to sit here and say, yeah, that was all Roman. I couldn't do that. Alex Bliss Gamer said Meltzer had to be put in his place. William said maybe he made it up and doesn't care. Maybe. Alex said, are you a fan of Ridge cut chips or normal chips? UK chips, not the awkward USA ones. I don't know what you mean because... Oh, hang on, I do know what you mean. Okay, so you're talking about like potato, like proper that you get from the fish and chip shop. I don't know, to be honest. I mean, we don't... If ever we have chips, we just tend to have just normal oven chips, to be honest. We don't have chips all that often. So I keep, like, whenever we have something to eat, I'm really trying to be healthy because you have to remember, I pretty much sit here and just talk for a long time. So, like, if I'm going to be eating, the last thing I need to be eating is, like, burgers, pizza, stuff like that. Like, I really do try to get a good amount of vegetables and healthy food and whatever. So, we don't tend to have, like, burgers, chips, and things like that all that much, to be honest. So, if we was to have something, I don't think we would go as exotic as ridge-cut chips. I don't think we would do that. I think we would just have some normal oven chips, to be honest. But we don't have it that often. Although, I did have it today. I had an omelette and chips. That's what I had today. But mainly because I was just in a rush, and I just really needed something quick. So... Meltzer has a history of making AEW look good any way he can over WWE, says Abdi. Days, did you know that Shawn Michaels is running NXT until Triple H comes back? I read that today, actually. I think it was Harley that sent me an article. Someone had listed the lies that Dave Meltzer has told. And one of them was that Vince was running NXT, and the truth is that Shawn's looking after NXT at the moment. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I find it's really difficult to talk about that Dave Meltzer one. I mean, I don't mind talking about anything, but I don't know where the truth is on this one. I really don't know where the truth is. I think that there is an agenda against Dave Meltzer. I do think there's people that any opportunity they can get, they're going to lay into Dave Meltzer. So this one, if it turns out that... So he could have been told this by someone that went to the show. He's mentioned it. It apparently turns out to not be true. And so now, you know, he's trending. People are ripping into him. And this is just for mentioning something that he might have been told. Now, you can counter-argue it's quite a big thing, because you are making it seem like this segment was atrocious and all this kind of stuff. But equally, I do think people are maybe reading a bit much into this. This doesn't strike me as that big of a story, but it has now definitely become a big story because Alexa has spoken out about it and ripped into Dave Meltzer. And now, like, obviously everyone's, like, you know, talking about it. So, haven't got a problem talking about it. I just don't know where the truth is. I don't know. I don't know if he's made it up. I don't know if he was told that. I don't know if he's, like, just innocently been told it and he's mentioned it I don't know. There's so many things in here that I don't know if it's true or if it's not true, or if he made it up, did he not make it up? Did 1,500 people leave? Did they not leave? Like, there's so much here that I just don't know. It sort of makes me go, one of them. Because I don't know enough, like, it's just this mess. It's just like this mess. And because, like, it doesn't matter anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's not like if we solve this, it's going to be, you know, we're going to solve one of life's great mysteries. I kind of feel like we can just go, I'm going to leave that where it is. Do you know what? I'm going to push that to Twitter. Twitter can deal with that. I'm not really interested in it anyway. Let's get a stick. Push it over there. So that's kind of, I think, where I am. Alex says, hasn't Dave always been a little negative towards the female wrestling stars? I would love to know if he mentioned it. If he'd mentioned it, if it was 24/7 title in-ring segment, I would say 80% would leave. Hang on, I don't get this. Hasn't Dave always been a little negative towards the female wrestling stars? I can't answer that. I genuinely don't know, because I don't listen to his podcast all that much. I mean, I do put it on occasionally, but not as much as I do listening to, say, like Eric Bischoff or Jim Cornette or Bruce Pritchard, Summit to Wrestle With. I really like the Conrad Thompson ones. I think I kind of like, when I listen to podcasts, I like the older ones, the ones that focus more on the past rather than what's focused on now. Because I think we talk a lot about now. I don't really need to listen to now, because I watch now. I talk to you a lot about now. So I don't really listen to, like, the Meltzer stuff all that much. And because he doesn't, it always tends to be about Raw and blah, 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 blah. So I genuinely don't know if he's negative towards the female stars. I would love to know if he'd mention it if it was 24/7 title in-ring segment. I'd say 80% would leave. So you're saying that if it was 24/7 title in-ring, then 80% would have gone. I don't know. People love Simpanold, don't they? It's getting like 50-odd million views on Instagram and whatnot. Delmar said, do you think there's a chance if AEW went down, we'd see their content and video library on the WWE Network in 5 to 10 years? Well, it would depend if Tony Khan would sell it. I mean, when you say went down, if Tony Khan just wraps it up but still owns it, then Vince can't get it. But if it goes bust and it goes to a buyer, could Vince come in and buy it? You know, a couple of million. I think he paid like $2 million for the WCW library, which is immense. $2 million. That is nothing. That is nothing. So that was amazing. So I don't know how much the AEW library would cost him. I mean, obviously we don't know this hypothetical situation. I just the easy answer is I don't see it happening right now. I don't see it happening. I think even if it went bust, I think Tony Khan would just put it under lock and key. I think Tony Khan would do whatever he could to just ensure it didn't get into the hands of WWE. So I don't see it. I don't see it. Put bluntly, Dave picks on WWE and especially women, so it's karma when Twitter picks on Dave. Okay, this is interesting. I don't know about this women thing, so this is quite interesting. Meltzer was hating on Bianca Belair for no reason during one of the podcasts, says Robin. Days, are you on the lookout for a wifey? Mike, I'm not sure you're my type, to be honest. If I was going to go for someone, Mike, I'd probably go for someone with a profile picture. I find the fact that your profile picture is just green with a white M, I just find that means that your attention to detail isn't quite what I'm looking for. I'm just being honest, Mike, you know. I'm gonna need a little bit more than what you're offering up. That's all I'm saying, Mike. Don't take it personally, pal. I'm sure you would make an excellent wife, but I've got to say no for now. I love the New Day podcast. They love to talk toilet issues. The other week they did an episode on mental health. Hearing Big E's story definitely made me think onions were being cut, says Alex. G-Money says, do you like the new NXT? Do I like the new NXT? I do like the new NXT, yes. I like the arena. I like some of the new stars, like Ivy Nile. I like, and the Creed brothers. But Diamond Mine, actually, all of a sudden has become really good. I like the focus on in-ring action and the way that the ring is presented. As I said, I like the arena. I do like it. I mean, it's not perfect. I'm not saying that it's like, wow, yeah, it's the greatest thing that's ever happened. I'm just saying that it does feel fresh. It does feel fresh. I'm looking forward to week 2. As I said at the start of this, I hope whoever is behind the scenes, and it seems like it is Sean, with obviously others. I hope they're just bursting with ideas. I hope there's so much that they want to do, and now they feel they've got the freedom to do it or whatever. Perhaps they felt they had to be really gritty before, but now they can actually explore some other things. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do in week 2. I love Alexa Bliss's podcast, says Alexa Bliss Gamer. I am not surprised by that. Frenchie says hello to everyone in the chat. Linda McMahon is here saying, hello, baby. I can be yours. I want Linda days. Linda McMahon, shout out to you. I have to be very formal with Linda when she's here because, obviously, I have to be professional. But certainly not professional when it comes to the DMs. Linda knows. She knows. The Sweet Trini says, Meltzer has made inappropriate comments and reported wrong news regarding Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, Charlotte, Alexa, Nia, Bella's, Bianca, Naomi, Natalia. I think there is an issue. Okay. Who is the worst female wrestler in general? Who is the worst female wrestler in general? Well, the first name that comes to mind would be Nia Jax or Eva. Or Tamina. It could be... Nia Jax. Nia Jax is just a bit reckless, isn't she? Eva... just isn't very good. We just haven't seen anything from Eva. I mean, all she does is just run away. So I certainly don't think she's been away training. So yeah, I would say one of those. Maybe outright worst wrestler might go to Tamina. I mean, the fact she can't even do the splash off the top like her dad. I don't even mean like her dad. She can't even do the splash off. Not like her dad. She can't even do the splash off the... So yeah, I don't know. Well, probably one of those would win the prize. Days, I hope you are well. I'm looking forward to AEW, says Legend Killer. Days, me versus William in a bikini match next week, says Jacob. Well, good luck because honestly, if you've never seen William in a bikini, then you're in for a treat. He is as smooth as an eel, let me tell you. The fact Tamina has been wrestling for so long and is still bad in the ring says a lot. Eva is not a wrestler, she is a model. Mike said Eva versus Brock. Richard K said, what's your favourite and most effective WWE finisher ever used? What is the most effective finisher ever used? It might be the RKO. I don't know if I can remember. Has anyone kicked out of an RKO? They must have. I'm sure someone has. Like, maybe he hit it on Edge and Edge kicked out of an RKO, but I feel like that is a very protected move. Like, when he hits that RKO, you're done. So, Yeah, that RKO out of nowhere is a very, very protected move. I always think about the DDT as well. I mean, the DDT was such a big thing. People used to chant DDT, DDT. And, like, you think about it now, like, everyone uses the DDT. But when Jake the Snake used it, wow. That was a finisher, man. That used to put people away. Same with, like, the Tombstone. That's obviously always been a very good finisher. So, there's been lots of good finishers. But, I mean, I would say probably the ultimate is probably the RKO for me. But, One Winged Angel versus RKO, says Jacob. A lot of people have kicked out of RKO, says Brony. Drew kicked out of the RKO. Eva would have worked good in Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression Era. DDT was the best, but now it just gets a 2 count. That's true. Jake the Snake came up with the DDT, says Kevin. Everyone's so nice. Polarized feelings. Oh, Chronic Effect, how are you? Again, I have no idea if anyone's decoding these messages from Chronic Effect. I feel like he's put in a whole album's worth of lyrics through our chat, which is... Maybe we'll look back and it'll be like some kind of cryptic message and we'll be like, oh, how did we not see that at the time? Alex said, I love how NXT 2.0 has kept the style of wrestling but that we are used to. Kevin said, isn't Hulk Hogan's leg drop the best finisher ever? I do think you have to kind of marry... If you're talking about the best finisher ever, you kind of have to marry its effectiveness in the ring with how it looks. And the leg drop I always felt looked tame. So I was personally never a fan of the leg drop. I mean, it was a finisher. It definitely ended matches, and you didn't see many people kicking out of it. But I'm not sure I would say it was the best finisher. Because, as I said, there's probably a few things you have to juggle when you're weighing that up. I loved and love the Black Mass and Shawn Michaels' Superkick. Not everyone's Superkick, only Shawn's, says Trini. Is wrestling the best it's been since the Monday Night Wars? No. Delmar says, WWE bought WCW and ECW. There was a time that TNA nearly went bankrupt. Why do you think Vince thought they weren't valuable? I don't know, to be honest, because I would think they were. Because their library would have been worth having. That definitely would have been worth having. And certainly now, because... And if someone tells me he put a bid in. Someone tells me he did bid for it when it was struggling, and I think he did want that library because he had Samoa Joe, AJ Styles. Like, you actually go through the list, he had Austin Aries for a time, Bobby Roode's in at the moment. Like, you can go through a who's who of people that used to be in TNA. So I think he did want that library. I don't think he wanted the brand. I don't think he was interested in that. It's not. I mean, like, they haven't got good TV. They haven't got good distribution. I don't think there was really many wrestlers he was that bothered by. If he wants them, he can just go and get those wrestlers anyway. Like, I don't think he's interested in acquiring people's contracts and honouring TV deals and keeping the thing going. I don't think he was interested in that, but I think he would have been interested in the TV library. Something in my head tells me he was, but I'd have to look into it. If you go on Peacock and watch Evolve, I am in the front row in a blue shirt, says Kevin. Triple H kicked out of an RKO at WrestleMania 25, says Mike. F5 is the most devastating and effective finisher, says Richard K. William says, always loved Yokozuna. He was amazing. Right, how long we got? 10 minutes. 10 minutes to go. Who is the best WCW wrestler ever? I would argue Sting, because whenever I think of WCW, he's always the first one that comes to mind, and he was around like pretty well, I think throughout the whole of the 90s. Surfer Sting was amazing. He obviously then changed and went into Crow Sting, and he was part of NWO. He was in Wolfpack, so I kind of think that for me it's Sting, but there'd be a lot of people that might say Hogan because of the impacts. There might be some people that say Ric Flair, but yeah, for me it'd be Sting. I would imagine if you did a poll, he would probably come out top. I would imagine. Gilberg, says Frenchie. Although that's a good point. Goldberg would be in the mix. Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley. William said, my favourite was the Razor's Edge, but I am more of a submission finisher guy, like a mandible claw. That's cool. Listen, we got 9 minutes, and I want to make sure that we definitely have covered things we need to cover. There was a quote from Bryan Danielson saying these, I don't know if you saw, but he thanked WWE, and it was really cool. Bryan Danielson thanking WWE, and talking about how big this next step is, and how excited he is. He said this match against Kenny Omega feels like one of, if not the biggest match of his career. He really took his time to thank WWE, thank the catering, thank the production teams. He said he thanked the big man as well. He said, I know you don't like being acknowledged, but I just wish people could see you the same way that I see you. And it was good. It was really good. So, I think it was really classy. So that was from Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson. He says the next 3 years are going to be his last, and they're really, really important. So that was interesting. Tonight on the show, we've got Toxic Attraction, which is Mandy Rose, Gigi Dolan, and JC Jane. We've also got Tommaso Ciampa kicking off the show. Brooks Jensen and Josh Briggs are going to reveal how they became a team. I mean, I'm not really bothered about how they became a team because I don't know anything about them, but this might tell us a bit about them. And I have said that I want a bit more backstory on wrestlers, so I'm not going to moan if they're now going to give me that. So even though this might not sound that exciting because we don't know anything about them, it might help us learn a bit about them. So, Brooks Jensen and Josh Briggs reveal how they became a team. And Kushida takes on Roderick Strong for the Cruiserweight Championship. So, and there'll be other stuff as well, of course. But that's everything that I've seen announced. There will be a bikini belt, says Jacob. YouTube recommended your channel to me, and I like these discussions, says CurseSoul666. Shout out to you, dude. Appreciate it. Yeah, we don't shy away from anything, to be honest. We this first hour in particular, we always start an hour before Raw, hour before NXT, hour before AEW, hour before SmackDown, couple of hours normally before pay-per-views, where any kind of latest news or anything we can really throw around. And yeah, I've got no problem taking an opposing opinion to like Twitter or anything, but I won't do it just for the sake of doing it. But I do like to think things through. I've always been that kind of person. So, yeah, just with that Dave Mounts thing, it'd be easy to jump on here and just lay into him. But I genuinely don't know where the truth is on this one. But equally, I'll also hold my hands up and say I don't listen to his podcast. So it seems like people are telling me there's a history where he's like laying into WWE a lot, laying into female talent a lot, and maybe this is just part of an ongoing narrative of some kind. So it'd be interesting to see what the fallout is of that. That's definitely the big story. Haven't seen many people talking about the Ric Flair denial, to be honest. Haven't seen many people talking about that. Ric Flair coming out, I think it was yesterday, and saying that basically what had been said in Dark Side of the Ring wasn't true. Which, if that, I mean, there's no way of, like, I don't know what he does or what happens with that now. Because you can't really sue someone for that, can you? Because, I mean, if that isn't true, then that's appalling. Because that has really hurt him. That has really hurt him a lot. His reputation has really taken a kicking. If that did not happen, then that is horrific. I mean, if it did happen, it's even worse. So, and even worse now that he's denying it, if it did happen. So, a lot of these things, I don't know if you'll ever quite know where the truth is, to be honest. How are you doing? I'm doing alright. I am doing alright. Jose David, shout out to you. Punches were thrown at the Canelo press conference about 10 minutes before you went live, says CCSYT. Josh said they should make a Samoan dynasty documentary. I feel like they did do one on the Anoa'i family. I think there is one. Maybe on Peacock, if you go to the WWE Network. I'm sure there's something that links it all together, but that might be actually, now I'm thinking about it, that might have just been part of the Yokozuna one. If you watch... No, they have. There's a DVD about wrestling families that's got a whole segment on the Anoa'is, and then, like, when you look at some, like, the Yokozuna documentary, that talks about the family history, but have a look at Wrestling Families. That's a documentary that came out on DVD, which I think might even be on the network for you to just watch. That's got a whole segment on the Anoa'i family. I mean, it won't be up to date now. You know, there's probably a few. Probably a few that could get added to it, but it'll certainly give you a good understanding if that's what you wanted. Colby said, if they want to start NXT with a bang, start the show with a Raquel promo, and then Linda McMahon's going to attack her and take the title. Easy. Days, shout out to you. I'm feeling a bit better than yesterday. Awesome. Robert, shout out to you. Days, would you rather take public transport to come and meet 100 members of this community, or have a friend take you to pick up the top 10 rarest figures for free? Would I rather... hang on, what would I rather do? Would I rather get public transport? I don't care about public transport. So, getting a train or a bus or something, I'm not bothered by that. So, would I travel to meet 100 people, or would a friend take me to pick up the 10 rarest figures for free? I would... I'm going to think about this because I'm going to give you my honest answer. The 10 rarest figures for free. I mean, what are we talking about there? Are we talking about, like, Kamala? They only made 25 of them. Are we talking about this? Because I kind of feel like I can arrange to meet people. My honest answer is, I kind of feel like I could arrange to meet people in the community. We've done it every year down at Wrestling Shop Live. So I kind of feel like there's a good chance we could arrange a meet and greet anytime. But I don't know if any time I could get my hands on the rarest figures ever made. So I don't know if it works. You might need to rephrase the question. Because one thing I think we could organise quite easily. The other thing we definitely cannot. So I would probably go for the figures because I definitely would never get that opportunity again. Whereas meeting like the community members, we could do that anytime. Or we could sort a venue out in London and do a meet and greet. Easy. Anytime. So I'd drop you all for figures. That's what I would do. I'd drop you like it's hot. Whoa, I'd be gone, mate. Can you get that organised? I'm off. Get it organised. I don't know who I need to speak to. But I'll get a list together. I'll even tell you what the figures are that I'm after. So there we go. Right, we are going over to NXT. Justin said it's time for NXT 2.0. Let's see how this is going to go, shall we? This will give us a really good idea of what NXT is going to be like week in, week out. Here we go. Right, we've got a little recap of last week. NXT 2.0 last week. We were all bout it, weren't we, last week? We were all bout it. Let's go. NXT 2.0 is on. Primo said, do you think AEW would have drawn bigger ratings had they started 6 years ago when Raw was drawing 4 million? They would have got bigger ratings because everything was getting bigger ratings. But like now, you know, you've got Fortnite, you've got Disney Plus and all this kind of stuff. She's awesome, man. Ivy Nile, look at her. I like Bron Breakker. The only problem is he runs a risk of becoming the new Mojo Rawley. And that's not a good thing. Bout it. Is Days bout it? I was born bout it. Jim Gore said, are you going to want the Owen Hart action figure when it comes out? Jim, are you going to want the Owen Hart action figure when it comes out? Switched it on you again, haven't I, Jim? I've switched it on you again. You weren't expecting that, was you, Jim? Not 2 days in a row. I've gone and switched it on you again. What am I like? I'm such a troublemaker. Yeah? What you saying, Jim? Are you going to get it? Robin said, we want Von Wagner. He looked all right. I think he was just a little overshadowed. Which, you know, was understandable considering he was in that main event against Ciampa and others. Uno reverse cards. I don't know what that means. Okay, this is the first time we're seeing this intro, because last week I think the intro was the video package. Yeah, okay, it was alright. It's the same music, so they haven't changed that. Hello, debut of Lashing Out, what? There was a little graphic in the corner that said debut of Lashing Out. Okay, what's happening? Right, we've got a load of people in there. I can see Odyssey. We've got Wade Barrett, Vic Joseph, Beth Phoenix. Here's Ciampa. I don't quite know what we've got here. We've got about 6 or 7 people in the ring, and now Tommaso Ciampa's making his way out. So, is Ciampa going to give an opportunity to someone that wins a battle royal or something, do you think? Do you think he's got a load of people that have never had a title shot? That would be good, wouldn't it? People that have never had a title shot in the ring, and then do a battle royal, and the winner gets a title shot. That would be pretty cool. I'd like to see the main roster do that, actually. People that have never had a shot at the belt in a battle royal or some sort of tournament. That'd be really good. That'd be really good, actually. Certainly if it was a tournament, because then it would use up quite a few. Jim said, I can find a store that has it. I have money. I would pick up the Owen Hart figure. They should have Seth Rollins on NXT to talk to Beth and send Edge a message. That's a good idea. He's been on NXT before. Do you remember when he was feuding with Triple H? He came out during a takeover and was in the ring. Because he did actually mention about Beth during his promo. Here we go, look, Tommaso Ciampa. Let's see what Ciampa's got to say. He said it's been a long journey, but it was worth every second. Tommaso Ciampa is your NXT champion. Hang on, he just has he's having a little listen to Goldie. Goldie's talking to him. He's telling the crowd to be quiet. Have a listen. I missed you too. Where's Timothy Thatcher? He got beaten up, didn't he? What's he going to think when he comes back? 2.0 chance? Right. They're ready to show the world. They're ready to show the world how damn good they are. Carmelo Hayes. Yeah, Odyssey Jones, man. I love Odyssey Jones. So, you know that Tommaso will always be Mr. NXT. He says, one thing that hasn't changed around here is the passion. That one guy is the Wish version of Dean Ambrose. He is, yeah. I see who you mean on the left-hand side. Yeah, that's a really good shout. That is literally someone cosplaying, isn't it? As Ambrose, and the guy next to him's like Luke Harper. It's like a couple of guys have come dressed as Dean Ambrose and Luke Harper, and they've just shoved him in the ring. I also think that Bron Breakker and Odyssey Jones are wearing ring attire that's quite similar. And I don't know if that's intentional. But it's not a million miles apart. They could easily be a tag team. Together we are NXT. So we've started off with the Tommaso Ciampa rally. Here's Cameron Grimes to the moon. Cameron Grimes. Grimes is here. Moon. Joe Gacy. Joe Gacy's awesome when he wears the mask. We've looked at pictures of Gacy a few times. Here's LA Knight. Right, LA Knight has come out. $1 Million Grimes. Liam Clark, hope you are well. Jones and Breakker should team up and call themselves Team Saved by the Bell. Yeah, man, that'd be brilliant. I'd be so on board. I love that show. What's this? Is this just a way of reminding us what the whole roster looks like? LA Knight's come out. Here's Pete Dunne. Here's Ridge Holland. We got a load of new people in the ring. Tommaso Ciampa's out there. Hello, I'm Joe Gacy. That's a bit of a cluster, isn't it? Joe Gacy is the smaller GQ version of Kevin Owens. Oh, Pete Dunne. All I see is a bunch of geezers scared to throw the first punch. Tommaso Ciampa throws that first punch. I think this segment has really missed the mark, to be honest, if I'm being truthful. I mean, if we're going to build to a battle royal, that would be good. But I think we could have got there a bit more of a entertaining way. Rest with Andy said, we all know that Bron Breakker is the real GOAT. We've got Ridge Holland and Bron Breakker. We've got Ciampa and out the ring goes Pete Dunne. That leaves Tommaso and Bron in the ring. Everyone else is outside the ring. There's a commotion backstage now. Alright, now the women are going at it. Got Kaylee Ray, we got Elektra Lopez, we got B-Fab or whatever her name is. I don't even know who that one is. I don't know who's that one. I don't know who she is. Do I know who she is? Mr. Mark. Now we're going back to the ring, and now we've got things happening in the ring. Pete Dunne's... Okay, right. Out again. Pete Dunne. Ridge Holland tried to get into the ring. They got kicked back out. Fabian said, I woke up, I saw the news. NXT is going to be edgy. I just want Raw and SmackDown ratings to suffer so that we could get the same for them. Okay, so Pete Dunne, Ridge Holland versus Tommaso Ciampa and Bron Breakker. Okay. The Bron Breakker stuff reminds me of Rex Steiner, the way Wrestling Days reminds me of Football Days. Up next is Kushida versus Roderick Strong. Right, Kushida versus Roderick Strong coming up next. Ben Russell said, Days, I can't wait for AEW Grand Slam tomorrow. It's going to be an absolute banger of a show. Kenny versus Bryan should be a 5-star match. That first segment from NXT, it just felt really unfocused in the sense of, why were they out there? Like, I don't remember Tommaso saying, I asked these guys to come out here so that we can really introduce the future of NXT 2.0 because I am excited about the future. I'm so excited about the future that I'm going to give one of these guys an opportunity. Or something along those lines. Like, I don't really understand why they were out there. And what the purpose of them being out there was. Like, it didn't lead anywhere. Like, the end result is we've got a tag match. But there was no way of us getting to this tag match unless Pete Dunne and Ridge Holland had walked out. Like, if they never walk out, we don't get this tag match. So, what was the plan? What was the plan? What was the purpose? What was the original plan, the original purpose of that segment? Like, it felt a bit directionless. And, like, listening to Tommaso trying to give, like, a bit of a pep rally. Like, it just fell very short compared to like what you would see Jericho do on AEW. I know it's a bit unfair to compare Tommaso to Jericho, but kind of it's what we needed, really. You kind of needed like Jericho to go out there and start that off, because he's got a great way of milking the audience and coming in. Like, there was a lack of like witty lines. There wasn't really any witty lines or anything that really made you go, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. Like, it was just kind of like bit bland. People standing around, someone comes out, big brawl, and then we get a tag match. Like, I don't know. It's not... I said this is going to be a really interesting episode because it's going to give us a better idea of what a normal NXT will look like. And I just have to say that first segment's a bit of a miss for me, but I'm excited for the match. I'm excited for Ciampa and Bron Breakker taking on Pete Dunne and Ridge Holland. I think that'll be decent. I think that'll be good. So I'm definitely... Sign me up for that. Sign me up for that. I'm definitely here for that. And coming up next, we got Kushida taking on Roderick Strong. I disagree. Ciampa was talking about the talent. And that's why they were there. Yeah, but there's no... He's talking about them, but what's the purpose of it? I mean, you can talk about them without them being there. What is he now? I mean, like, if William Regal was doing it, I could understand. But why did they go? Why did they listen to Tommaso? Who's told them to go out there? Why are they standing in the ring? Why are they standing in the ring? Just so Tommaso can talk about them. I'm talking kayfabe point of view. Why are they going out there? I'm a superstar in NXT. Tommaso says, I want you to come down to the ring. Like, am I going to go? Am I going to listen to him? I want his belt. I'm not interested in what he's got to say. I want a title shot. He's going to give me that. I kind of feel like it should have gone somewhere. I kind of feel like we should have got something from it. Like, it's just flat. Didn't lead anywhere. Michael said, do you think Jericho will ever get inducted into the Hall of Fame? Eventually, yeah, but I mean, it won't be for a long time. I think he'll have to have been, he'll have to, obviously, not whilst he's with AEW. Although, I would have said he wouldn't be on Broken Skull Sessions whilst he was with AEW. So, I don't know, they could surprise me, but I really, really don't think whilst he's with AEW. So it all depends when that's going to stop being a thing, or when he stops being with them. Because I don't see them going out of business or anything anytime soon. Let me try and get back to the chat. Boom. I agree with you. Pete Dunne, just put the mic down. Just put the mic down. I think you're overthinking it a bit with that part. I just think it's really important that if you're going to tune in to the start of the show, it's got to be good, it's got to be gripping, it's got to grab you. And it just didn't. It didn't go anywhere. It didn't do anything. Like, it set up a tag team match, but it's not... I mean, the tag match is fine, but you could have announced the tag match. You easily could have just done a graphic saying tonight Pete Dunne, Ridge Holland versus Bron Breakker, Tommaso Ciampa. Like, we could have got to that same match a lot quicker. And you could have done a better, more entertaining, more gripping, more compelling opening. Like, it really fell short for me, to be honest. I really wasn't feeling it at all. It kind of felt like they wanted to go out and do a "We Are NXT" and kind of get the fan base riled up, but I don't know, maybe it worked for you guys. Maybe you were like, yeah, we are NXT, but that just didn't come across to me. It didn't get me. Right, anyway, we're moving on to this next one. Roderick Strong and Kashida. It's set up Odyssey, Knight, and Grimes Gacy. Austin said, I hate brawls. Why did it go from everyone brawling, and then we go backstage and there's women fighting, And then we go back to Ciampa, and then they're fighting. Daniel said, I think they were all just out there to brawl. Listen, I mean, like, there's people that are into it. There's people that are not into it. We move on. Here's Roderick Strong. Jumping over to Kushida, and Kushida's down in the middle of the ring. This should be a good match. I really like Kushida's ring attire. Kushida's actually tried a few different ring attires, and some have worked and some haven't. I think this is probably the best I've seen, to be honest. It's quite simple, but it looks quite classy, and I kind of like it actually. I think that could work quite well for Kashida. Do you remember when they had him wrestling in, like, civilian attire and everything? Like, they had him in, like, jeans and all of that. I kind of thought that was all right at first, but I got a bit tired of it. But I kind of like this. Some lovely mat-based wrestling here between Roderick Strong and Kushida. I liked Kushida's first attire. The colourful gear would fit with this version of NXT, that's true. Alex said, are you a TV or streaming service person? Streaming service. I haven't really got time to be watching stuff as it airs live. Yeah, I'm very much catch-up. I'm a catch-up kind of a guy. Seth won't be on NXT tonight unless he is live via satellite because he is in the UK at the moment. I'm not expecting Seth on NXT, to be honest. This should be a good match. Habib says, I love NXT more than AEW and Raw. Joseph said, what's wrong with brawling? I think brawling can be okay, but I just think that you can overdo it, and I think that was like overdoing it because like there was brawling in the ring, but then we go backstage and then there's more brawling out of nowhere. You've got people backstage fighting, and then you come back to the ringside area, and then you've got Pete Dunne and Bron Breakker and Tommaso Ciampa, and they were brawling. So there was just a lot. There was just a lot of brawling everywhere, and yeah, just kind of like watered it all down, really. I honestly thought it was going to build to a battle royal. I really did. I really thought it was going to build to a battle royal. I was like certain of it. I was absolutely certain of it. I was like, all these people out there, this must be why they're there. But like, they keep bringing people out. This is going to be a battle royal. They're going to do a battle royal to establish who's the number one contender. That's why everyone's out there. And then it didn't happen. And I was like, this is so confused. How long's gone? We're almost a quarter of a way through this show. The brawl was clueless, I guess. Brony said, I only like brawls when it leads to summer. I guess that brawl did lead to a tag match. Jacob said, who do you want to fight me in a bikini match for the bikini belt? I don't know. I don't even know what's happening now. I don't even know what's happening. I thought the opening was all right until everyone started coming out. Daniel said, Ariel Helwani is reporting that Nick Diaz and Robbie Lawler has been changed to a middleweight fight at 185 instead of welterweight. Oh, that's interesting. The Fast Man on Earth versus Carmex came on 3 freaking times. I don't have those adverts. Hello, Days. If Tommaso wants to make an open challenge, who would you pick? I would pick the zombie ref or Dana White. Well, if it's an open challenge, then would I do an open challenge? I really like the idea of doing a tournament. If this is the new NXT 2.0 and it's all about the future, then I think it would have been brilliant if he'd have said to them backstage, look, I'm going to give you a massive opportunity, but you've got to come out to the ring now. Then I would understand why they went to the ring. and then that opportunity turns out to be a tournament. So Tommaso's like, I've spoken to William Regal, and he's confirmed we're going to start a tournament this week. The people that are in it are people that have never had a shot at the NXT Championship. This is monumental. I don't know when we're going to get a chance to do this again, but this is a brand new NXT, and brand new superstars are here, and this is a brand new opportunity, and the winner of this tournament gets to face me for Goldie at blah 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 blah, the next takeover, whatever. And then you do a tournament for the next 3 weeks, month, and you have like, I don't know, 16 people in it or whatever, and you do a tournament of people that have never had a title opportunity. And you could even do a mixture of like new stars, but also like older stars. Like if you actually go back through the records, there might be some names that are quite surprising that have never had a shot at the title. I can't tell you who those people would be. I don't know. I don't know if Kushida's ever had a shot at the title. I don't know if, I mean, maybe Ridge Holland has never had a shot at the title. I'd imagine he hasn't. So, like, Ridge Holland could be in it. Odyssey Jones, obviously all of those could be in it. But, I don't know. Has Roderick Strong ever had a shot at the title? I would think so. But what if he hasn't? What if it turns out Roderick Strong has never had a shot at the title? I think that could have been really interesting. But that's, you know, that's not the direction that they want to go, and that's absolutely fine. It'll be interesting to see who the first challenger for Tommaso's going to be, in all fairness. Hoverboard locked by Kushida, and jumps down into the ring and plants Roderick Strong. What about the North American Championship? That Swerve is kind of in a feud with Legado del Fantasma, isn't he, at the moment? That's lovely. Lovely backbreaker by Roderick Strong, and then hurls Kashida on the back of his head. Kashida with a shoulder up. I love how Ivy Nile has come out again with chains. This is like a permanent fixture. She's going to make a great Mattel figure. You're going to be able to get a great Ivy Nile figure. Certainly if it comes with chains. That'll be pretty cool. Big chop by Roderick Strong. This is a good match. Hard-hitting match. And these two work in a lovely pace. Nice. Looking for a hoverboard lock again by Kashida. It is center of the ring, and Kashida really working on the arm of Roderick Strong, rolling over, and again he's got that arm. Roderick Strong in big trouble, but he's going to try and find a way out of it. Oh, he's got a tap. Roderick Strong's got a tap. That looks moody, man. Oh, look, Bivens has put the leg on the rope. Bivens has put the leg on the rope, so Kashida has got to break the hold. It was Bivens that put the foot there. Bivens jumping up now and causing a distraction. Now we've got Creed Brothers. Ah! Ivy Nile! Ivy Nile launching off the steps. Knee strike by Roderick Strong. This is for the Cruiserweight Championship. Oof, lovely. Look at that. Double knees. 1, 2, 3. Roderick Strong wins. And new NXT Cruiserweight Champion. So, second week in a row, we see a new champion. What next for Kashida, though, eh? What next for Kashida? And more importantly, where's the chain gone from Ivy Nile? Where's the chain? She's in the ring without any chains. Diamond Mine's first title, says Nov Freeze. Ivy knocked him out. Diamond Mine theme sounds like Shayna Baszler's, says Liam. That's good. Yeah, it does actually. You're right. Yeah, she proper nailed him as well. They look cool. I think they look really good now. Yeah, that was oh man, look at the Creed brothers on the outside, proper celebrating. And new NXT Cruiserweight Champion, Roderick Strong. I could see plenty of gold here, you know. I could see the Creed brothers being tag champs. I could see Roderick Strong being NXT champ. I can see Ivy Nile being female champ. Here's Grayson Waller. Let's hear it for the new champ. Grayson Waller. NXT 2.0 is a jungle. But if anyone was built to survive in the jungle, it is Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller. Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong, Grayson Waller. Here's Michael Bivin. I like that song. Go away, Grayson, says Don. Bivens is emotional. Finally got someone to a belt. Okay. So it is going to be a title match next week. That was a decent match, that was. Will we get to see the day SmackDown and Raw also become 1849 demo focused? Like this NXT? I honestly don't know. It felt like Raw was focused for a very young demo. But that does feel like there's been a bit of change in recent weeks. I mean, Alexa, wasn't using that childish voice. I mean, we did still get the playground, in all fairness. We did still get, like, Nikki ASH, and, there is still definitely things there. But I think you'd also have to agree that they did cater better for an older demo on Raw. And they have actually done that for the past couple of weeks. So, yeah, I think there has been a change these past couple of weeks on Raw. Who's this? What's going on? Kay Ray making her way down. They will release Kashida now, says Darby Stickfigure. Tony Bologna. Yeah, Tony D'Angelo. Just saw a little promo for him again. Okay, Kaylee Ray coming up next. I don't know who she was feuding with. She was brawling with someone backstage. We'll find out now. Right, we just got an advert for Extreme Rules. Right, Kaylee Ray, and we're just gonna have to wait and see who she's facing. I couldn't see who it was. Yeah, it's the meat market, man. Just had another promo for him. Hey, ma, want me to go down to the meat market? Hey, ma. Tony. Looking forward to Tony. I believe that Roderick Strong could bring meaning and attention to that Cruiserweight Championship. I agree. He looks, with a shaved head, he looks really good. I know it sounds silly, but with a shaved head and, Diamond Mine with him, he looks really, really good. So, yeah, that's Cruiserweight Championship. You know, I don't know if they're going to keep it on him for a while or if it's just a stepping stone to the WWE, the NXT Championship. But, yeah, I mean, definitely I see big potential in Diamond Mine. Definitely. I think Creed Brothers look awesome. I think Ivy Nile, I haven't seen her wrestle yet, but her look is amazing. We all know Roderick Strong's fantastic in the ring. And Bivens can talk, so it's a good ensemble. It's going to be Amory Miller. Oh, is that her name? Amory Miller. Okay, I'll believe you. It's Miller time, guys. It's Miller time. There we go. Aloha from Hawaii. Now that we say a match between Roman versus Lashley versus Big E, do you think WrestleMania will have Lashley Lesnar champ versus champ? Do I think Lashley Lesnar will be? I mean, I don't know if it'll be champ versus champ. I mean, there's a lot to unpack there. I mean, we would have to be talking about the draft. We'd have to be talking about, because that would have to mean that Lashley wins it back from Big E. No one gets moved in the draft to a different brand. Lashley would have to win it. Then they'd have to keep it. Lesnar would have to beat Roman. He would have to keep it. I don't know. There's lots to unpack there. So I don't know if it'll be champ, but I could definitely see Bobby versus Brock. Definitely. I think that is a match that's really captured people's imagination. And I think it's a match that people really would like to see. I just don't know how much WWE know that it's a match that people would like to see. I don't know if that is one of the kind of future opponents that Vince has got in mind for Brock. I mean, he might honestly be thinking, well, let's do Roman, let's do Edge, or let's do Seth, let's do Keith Lee. Let's do Drew. I don't know if he's got Bobby in mind. I would guess so. I would think so. I would hope so. Because I would love to see that, yes. Bobby has spoken on having that match for 7 years, says Gerald. Rod looks incredible now with Diamond Mine, one of the best wrestlers in the world. People pay attention to Hot Bod Rod. Hot Bod Rod. Alex said, who's ready for Extreme Rules? I'm ready. I was born ready. Days, how many championships have changed hands in the last week of WWE? No idea. I know we had a new WWE champion. We've had new women's tag team champions. Obviously, we've had new NXT champion, new NXT Cruiserweight champion. So, quite a few. Okay. We're seeing like a bar fight. So apparently these two started teaming together because there was a bar fight. I just tweeted a 10-second video of what happened at the Canelo press. He's tweeted, don't talk about my mom. I'm guessing that's what started it. Okay? CCSYT, shout out to you. Fabian said, Days, how will we get Bobby Brock? Lashley beating down Heyman would be no use if he stays with Roman. What? How would we get Bobby Brock? You just book it. Book it. Done, innit? I think, just have Bobby talk about how he's the biggest guy in WWE. About how no one can match his power. Have Brock Lesnar's music hit in the build to WrestleMania. Bish bash bosh done. What's going on here? This bubble woman? What's this bubble woman? Triple H definitely got this idea from West Ham. Amory Miller coming out and playing with bubbles. Oh, I saw a picture of her doing that. Is this taped? Is this taped? Maybe she was doing it on 205 Live. I saw an image of a girl that I didn't know who she was, like leaning on the edge of the ring doing that, and she's just done it. Okay. Well, maybe she's been used on 205 Live. Amory Miller. So, I think is the first time of me seeing her. I can't remember her being on NXT before. She might have been like a jobber, but this is like her kind of proper debut, if you will. Forearm strike by Kay Lee Ray. Against the ropes goes Amory Miller. Drop kick by Kay Lee Ray. Stomps coming in by Kay Lee Ray. I know it's Raw, but what do you think they will do with Nia? Do you think they will repackage her or just give her some time off? I'd think time off. I would think not much, but I would imagine she'll be away for a couple of weeks. I think she'll sell it. I don't know that she'll be back next week, but yeah, I mean, I would imagine she's probably not around next week, and then she's back the week after, and she'll continue this feud with Shayna. Is my guess. Unless this was meant to be so brutal that it was just, that's it, we're done, we're moving on, that's it, they've split. Just do a really brutal split and that'll do. Kay Lee Ray has got Miller on her back and plants her face first. And that's probably going to do it. 2, 3, and it is. There we go, Kay Lee Ray wins. Do you think SmackDown would let Brock go to Raw from SmackDown? They pay $205 million a year and have specifically asked for Brock. Fox is one of WWE's main banks. Fox is a $1 billion contract. Well, I mean, it wouldn't have to happen on Raw because, like, Bobby could go to SmackDown as part of the draft. Plus, also, there's a bit of talk about them using stars on both. So, they can still have Brock. But I don't know if they're going to exclusively have Brock. If they specifically ask for him, they can have him. So, without knowing, like, the finer points of the contract, who knows? But I don't see any issue. Dante Chan. Singaporean, did they say? Dante Chan? God, we're just getting non-stop new faces, aren't we? All the time. I mean, it is quite interesting. One thing I want to know. Does Vince regret after releasing a wrestler? You'd have to ask him. Lots of debuts tonight, says Robin. Jay said, what did you think of the new NXT? I'm enjoying it. I think that tonight has had some highs and some lows. I thought last week was all right. I thought it was pretty solid. There was some decent stuff there. You kind of like, you see some stuff and you go, we can build a foundation here. We can do some stuff with this. I like the title match. I'm looking forward to seeing this next competitor. Yeah. It's not blowing me away. Right, let's put it that way. I'm not here going, yes, this is it. This is exactly what we needed. This is so good. This is like 8.5. This is 8.75. This is like, I'm not getting that. It feels a little bit like maybe like an FCW or something like that, where we are literally just bringing in new faces, giving them matches. Like, it is just proper developmental. But I felt like early NXT was a bit more than that. So, I don't know. I mean, it's going to take time, isn't it? It's going to take time. This is only the second week. So, it probably needs to settle down, establish some of these people, build some storylines. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's going to take time. This is definitely a new star building show. Darren said it is FCW. NXT 2.0 or NXT or more time. Well, I mean, right now, if someone was to say what's the best version of NXT, no doubt in my mind it's like 2014, 2015. For me, it's around that time. It's the 4 Horsewomen, it's Sami Zayn, it's Finn Balor, it's Asuka coming in, it's the arrival of Shinsuke, it's the Ascension, it's American Alpha, it's the arrival of DIY. To me, that's the best kind of era of NXT. Those kind of couple of years. I do think the arrival of Undisputed Era was huge. Of course it was. But my personal preference is just a bit before that. So, I kind of feel that for me, NXT probably started to wobble a bit when we were getting like Bobby Roode as champion. And maybe when like Drew was champion. For me, I didn't really feel that time. But I loved when Sammy was champion, and when Neville was champion, and when Finn was champion, and Samoa Joe. So, yeah, I'd say that's my favourite era. Okay. Some dude just been thrown into a door. Oh, I remember him before. I can't remember his name, though. We've seen him before. Trey Baxter. Okay. So many new faces. There are a lot of new faces. Baxter. Oh yeah, Dante Chan. I forgot that was what was next. Baxter versus Dante Chan. Right, let's have a look at Dante Chan then. Let's see what we've got here. Jonathan, shout out to you, bud. Appreciate the support, man. Dante Chan looks pretty cool. Jonathan, appreciate it, buddy. Number 1 fan. Number 1. Tell you what, that pair's done more exercise than I have all year. Look at it. Dancing away. Bobbing away. Dante Chan looks alright. I kind of like his entrance stuff. So, from Singapore, apparently. Someone at WWE needs to work on the entrance masks. Baxter in the corner, getting ready to go. This guy looks interesting, says J14. Trey Baxter should win because he's got a Conor Cure t-shirt on, says JP. Liam said, the one thing I will say is that NXT 2.0 does feel completely different. So to that extent, it does feel like they're trying. I agree. They're definitely trying. They're definitely trying. I really like the arena. I know not everyone does, but I really like the arena. I don't mind the colours as well. I actually like the colours. So I don't mind the arena. I don't mind the colours. Baxter jumping over. Inside cradle. 2. Chan's. Is that a wing clipper? 1, 2, 3. Who used to do that? It was that Angel Garza. I think Angel Garza used to have that as a move. I think that's a wing clipper. I'm pretty sure Angel Garza had that move. It looks like Garza's move. Yeah, I agree. Angel Garza, wing clipper. What's this? Chase University. Chase University? I'm alright, I'm into this. Our first lesson. Okay, so we're looking at Odyssey Jones. This is the face of a loser. This reminds me of Drew Gulak. Do you remember when Drew Gulak was doing his PowerPoint presentations? This reminds me of that. Match was Chen, 5 stars. He does. You're absolutely right, Liam. He does look like the guy from the Oddities. Okay. Okay. William said, I would love to get in the Octagon and give it a go. Vape Ross Vape said, it's sad. NXT is even the best show on Tuesday. Triple H saying, I've been blown away by the outreach and support from so many people. I'm recovering, doing well, and deeply grateful for all the love in my life. Here's Cameron Grimes. A minute of swearing. Just saw an ad for Extreme Rules whilst watching a stream of NXT, and in the end it said Extreme Rules will be 18 plus. Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen anything like that. I mean, I would be surprised because there's been nothing to kind of advertise that. There's been nothing to suggest that it's going to be, you know, like adult orientated or anything. I'm not sure about NXT. It's cheesy and bland. I agree. It's really. I don't know. I mean, it felt off at the start, but then it got good with Kushida and Roderick Strong. We've seen a few new faces and whatever, but it's just not. It's not in a groove. It's not flowing. It's not clicking. It's not grabbing me. I don't know if it's a bit. I don't know if it's just too many new faces. Like, you know, you were seeing someone thrown into a door, and it's like, okay. Then we're going to Chase University, and there's nothing witty there. There's nothing that, like, grabs you. It's just him talking about Odyssey Jones and how Odyssey Jones is a loser. And you go, okay. So I just find myself watching it going, okay. Like, okay. Now we've got this new person. Okay. Like, there's no, like, storylines that are really happening at the moment. Again, it could just be because it's new. So, certainly not, like, losing faith with NXT 2.0, but it's just, I think where it's new, we've just got to get the ball rolling on a few things. And, yeah, it's just a bit of a shame we can't kind of maintain that momentum from last week in a way. But we'll see what you lot think at the next commercial break, because we are sneaking our way towards the halftime scores. If WWE was sold to Disney and wrestlers became employees, does that push Tony Khan to supply people with health insurance? Does he not anyway? I have no idea what their health situation is over there. Daniel said there's way too many people getting introduced at once. I can't keep up with everyone. It feels rushed. Just Alex said maybe in 6 months when they are all established, but until then I might just check in once in a while. It just feels weird and I'm not too sure how to explain it, says Brony. Retribution said I don't even know what that means. Well, is that a quote? Is that a song lyric? Austin said, I think it is to do with too many new faces for why we're not quite feeling it. I get what they're trying to do, but I need some time to adjust to these new faces. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It feels like WWE's version of Impact. Maybe it's just me being under the influence of the devil's lettuce. The devil's lettuce? Robin said they could have Chase going full third brand or full developmental. They've chosen developmental. They're not building well on last week, says Darren. Simon said it's like the first Dynamite. Jay said, what did you think of Raw? I thought it improved. Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. I thought it was really solid. Really solid. Just went through. I was just entertained. The wrestling was good. The promos were good. I thought the Alexa Charlotte segment was really good. It was just really solid. There wasn't really much that kind of let it down or derailed it or... Yeah, it was good. This might be good. Joe Gacy sat in the ring. It's a song lyric, Days. I want to achieve unity and tolerance. He wants to achieve peace. Okay. Right, here's Cameron Grimes. What is this? I really like Gacy as well, but for those that haven't seen, let me find a picture of Joe Gacy. Yeah, we've got Joe Gacy wanting to create like conflict resolution and all of that. Here's here's the Joe Gacy that I like. And hopefully this is the Joe Gacy that we will end up getting at some point. That's Joe Gacy. We've shown this image before. Wow, images like this of Joe Gacy. He is actually quite interesting. So seeing him sitting there talking about conflict resolution and things along those lines sort of isn't doing it for me. I've got another picture here, which is interesting. I think this is actually the one that we did. This is the one that we did show before. Where is the image? There it is. This is pretty cool. There. Gacy. That's CZW. So that's the kind of thing that Joe Gacy can do. But looking at what's in the ring right now, we're a long way away from this. We're a long way away from this. Perhaps they're worried that they'll get, like, too many Fiend comparisons or something. I don't know. But that's certainly not the persona that he's playing here. You know, Joe Gacy here he's talking about conflict resolution, and he's got a shirt on. Shirt and trousers. Gacy versus Cameron Grimes to the moon. Wasn't he under one of those Retribution masks? That's actually when we were talking about him. Yeah, I thought he was because he got signed around that time. So I thought that he was one of those invaders into, when they Retribution invaded SmackDown when it was at the Performance Center. We were trying to figure out who was under the masks. I think that Gacy was one. Nice clothesline. That was excellent by Gacy. Love that. That was nice. So, look at that. Hands. That's the kind of thing you see from Ricochet, not someone of Gacy's size. Handstand against the ropes. Bounces off. And manages to get the pin on Grimes, but only gets a 2 count. Grimes. The double stomp. 1, 2, 3. Grimes wins. To the moon! Okay. Well, there we go. That was that then. That was that. An Owens replacement for when Kevin finally leaves, says Jordan. Kevin Owens lost. Boom. This upgrade of NXT feels more like a downgrade. NXT 2.0 is NXT 0.0. Not a good week. Gacy wants to shake hands with Grimes, and he goes for a hug. Okay. Gacy is selling his chest where he got double stomped on. And we're just seeing a recap of the wedding from last week. Darren said haters are gonna hate. NXT 2.0 is garbage, says Eddie. Justin said, did he just hug Grimes? He did. That's exactly what happened. James Kenny, shout out to you. Quinn says, need to give him time to develop. I didn't like Grimes' gimmick when he showed up, and now he's one of my faves. Annette says, Days, what is a Bron Breaker? I don't know what a Bron Breaker is. I do wish they'd have used the Steiner name. but they've just gone with a name that they can obviously trademark and own. So they've gone with Bron Breakker. I'd love to know how they come up with these names. Bron Breakker. Legend Killer, shout out to you. Who has got the $1 million belt now? $1 Million Man took it away, didn't he? Because didn't Cameron Grimes give him the $1 million belt, and then $1 Million Man was like, I want you to have this back, but he actually gave him back the replica. So I don't know that there is a $1 million belt around anymore. I don't like Mustafa Ali. Yeah, we are seeing last week's NXT wedding. I don't know if there's going to be any follow-up to this. I do. That was a great moment. That was a great moment. I mean, look how good last week's NXT was. Is everyone, like... It kind of... Is there a house show on tonight that's got all of the stars? Like, where are all the stars? Where are the Garganos? Where is Dexter? Where is Shirai? Where is everyone? That's what it feels like in the first hour. It's kind of like all the stars have gone off to do a show, and we've been left with, like, the Performance Center recruits. The honeymoon of Dexter Lumis and Indi Hartwell. That is next week. Sonny said, I love that segment. That was a good segment. Hang on, we might be getting some stars now. Elektra Lopez. We're getting the biggest star. We're getting the best star. Here's Santos Escobar. She looks cool, man. She looks cool with her hat on and her shades. She looks like a killer. I don't know that her ring attire kind of matches. I think you could probably do something a bit better for her ring attire. I really like the entrance look, though. The entrance looks really good. WWE goes on Google, uses a random name generator. Your girlfriend is here. Yeah. I love the moody. That's exactly what she is. Big black hat. She's basically the female Undertaker. Big black hat, black glasses. Coming out looking moody. So many eager young bunnies, says Chronic Effect. Halftime scores. Get in your halftime scores. Scores on the doors. What you think? What do you think? Are you loving it? Are you hating it? What you think? Austin says 5. Sonny says 5. Brony says 5. Ryan says 5.25. CM316 says the Elektra Taker. Days, do you remember your old Dexter voice? The screeching voice. I don't remember the screeching voice. 6 says Big Boy Dally. 5 says Liam Clark. 5 says Brony. Draco says 5. The Quilver says 4. LSW says 575. Don says 6, disappointed. Burn It Down says 5.5. Future Comp says 5. Bob the Ogre says 5. Shola says 6. Shark to PR says 675. I think it's pretty decent. Fair play. 1987 Big Fan says 5. Nothing has grabbed my attention yet. Daniel says 575. This is bland. Vape Moss Vape said, I turned it off. Sad day. Darren says, Chen out of Chen. Chen out of Chen. 5 says Justin. 5 says Brony. 5 says Legend Killer. 2 says 2.0 says Smurfy Tunes. 5 says Justin. Everrise out of 10. Says Minties. I like Chen out of 10. That's clever. Robin813 says 6.75. Shauna says 5. It's promo central. Alexa Bliss Gamer says 8 out of 10. Ryan said it seems like the old security guards have been called up and are now the NXT 2.0 roster. I hope Dexter Lumis continues to speak, but as little as possible. I am loving Dexter's facial expressions. He didn't click with me at first, but he is now my favourite. Adrian says 5. Bad show, 5.5 says burn it down. Smurftoon says 2. Gregor says 5. Booyan said I feel like a woman. We are the best tag team, says Jacob. Electra Taker. Yeah, we're still at commercial break. 9.32, says Brendan. Jacob said 5. Trey Gaming says 6. NXT, when it first became a wrestling promotion, is better than NXT 2.0. Dexter is the new Undertaker, says Jacob. Hello, Jennifer. Hope you are well. Well, at least AEW's got a big show tomorrow, so we don't have to wait long for for a big wrestling show. Here's Von Wagner. He looks good. He looks good. Here's Von. 6'5". Yeah, I hope he gets shredded. Get shredded. Von Wagner. Right, we've got Legado del Fantasma, and there is Elektra Lopez. Is she about to take on B-Fab? Oh, no. Anna Shea. Okay. Anna Shea. Let's see. I would imagine Lopez is going to win this quite comfortably. I wish she did take her time, actually. That would be good. It's the kind of thing that you see Naito doing. So that would be good if Elektra Lopez just was like taking her stuff off and like her opponent was like, what's going on? And Elektra Lopez just really taking her time. That would be cool. Big strike. Shea goes against the ropes. Lopez shoulder tackle. Shea goes down again. Hurls her over by the ropes. She's talking trash to her. You are nobody. Slams her down. It's pretty impressive. She just grabbed her and like hurled her down like that, but Shea just ended up like going across the ring. Shea's bumping like a trooper, man. Really chucking herself around. Forearm strike by Shea, and again against the ropes. Goes for a crossbody, gets caught by Lopez. Ugh, planted. Nice suplex, rolling through. She's going to look for another. Working on the arm. Picks her up. Oof. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I mean, she looked good. It was fine. Squash match. Pretty sure Anna's been on AEW Dark for the last year under another name. She looks identical to a person that I'm thinking of. Orange is not a good colour. Yeah. Fuego. I do like the wrist thing she's wearing. They kind of look from here like gold or something, but they're not. I think they are black and orange. But just from here, they kind of, the reflection, it does make them look like gold a little bit. They probably should be gold, actually. She should wear, like, gold attire rather than orange. You complete Legado del Fantasma. What I did here tonight was just a taste. I like how she says it. Of Legado del Fantasma. La Madrina. Is she referring to herself as La Madrina? What? I think there's a Legado chant. Yeah, that's good. That's good by Santos. Santos has got the crowd, like, you know, he's just standing there. They're chanting. And he's like, that's because of you. That's because of you. That's good.
And if you don't like it, Hera, you can get your skinny ass out here.
Hero! 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 From behind. B-Fab! B-Fab! I'm down for seeing these two fight, in all fairness. I think they've built this women's match really well. Like, I genuinely believe that. Look at her grabbing her hair! Like, I genuinely, like, feel like there's heat between them. They're very different as well. Like, B-Fab's got that kind of hip-hop background. And she's part of that kind of hip-hop crew. But then you've got Elektra Lopez that's all, like, got that Mexican background. And, like, they're very different. Yeah. I mean, I'm really into watching that match. Baxter. Is business about to pick it up? Oh, hello. Are they in a relationship or something? What's this? She just gave him a big old... one of them. I don't know who that's called. I don't know what their names are. I know that's Baxter. Is it Trey Baxter that we saw? Oh, he is the big man. Trey Baxter and Cora Jade. Maybe. Don't know. That's her name now. Here's Odyssey Jones. I love Odyssey Jones. Odyssey Jones. They are in a relationship. Breaking news, guys. Breaking news. Fake AJ Lee. Hey, that's alright. I love AJ Lee. I got no problems with a fake AJ Lee. No, we won't go there. Days, who wins? Kenny Omega or Daniel Bryan? I say Daniel Bryan. I've said it. Can we get a match that isn't a squash other than the opener and Fuego del Sol to NXT confirmed? AJ Lee would be proud. Cora Jade. I think that's her name as well, Smurfy Tunes. I think it's Cora Jade. Right, we are at commercial break. We've got 40 minutes to go. Alex said there was a report a few hours about 2.0. Vince may be wanting more naughty words. God damn! Give me more naughty words! Balloon snake. Oh, I love it! Give me more naughty words! Waffle, wallet. Oh, god damn. He loves it. He loves all those naughty words, Vince McMahon. Freeze 20 below forced. Another classic from Chronic Effect. It's been a squash match. It's been squash match city all night long, says Bunyan. Squash match city. That is what NXT 2.0 is all about. There's an Undertaker trailer out. Amazing. Ryan said, man, this is a weird show. This is a weird show. But that last segment was good. That last bit was good. I enjoyed... the squash match was fine. I thought Elektra Lopez looked fine. And then B-Fab came out, and I want to see them two fight. That's a fight I'm really interested in. And I don't like it, Ro, but I'm down for seeing B-Fab against Elektra Lopez. I like that they are showcasing new talent, but they barely have any stars on the show. Yeah. Ketchup chips. I don't know what's happening. Where's Bout It? He was in the ring at the start, wasn't he? I'm sure he was in the ring at the start. Hey, say what you want. But Bout It definitely became a thing. It became a thing. It might not be a thing that people like, but it definitely became a thing. I mean, we definitely remember him. Because he's Bout It. It could work, you know. That could work. What's their relationship? They are... I don't know. Frankie Monet. Here's Raquel Gonzalez. There's Underboober. NXT Women's Championship match next week. So this will be your last week as champion. Who's she? Hmm. A new talk show. NXT's going to have a talk show. Lail. What? What's happening? What are these words? Lail. What? What? I don't even know what the talk show's called. I'm so excited for my talk show next week. Lail with me. Lail. I swear NXT has just come up with its whole own new language now. I mean, we thought that Bron Breakker was a bit like, what? I don't know. I'm moving on. Whatever. We'll find out next week. Something's happening next week. But we don't know what it is. Right now, we've got Odyssey Jones taking on two men. Two men. I don't know why it's in lowercase. They are small men. Lashley. Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley's got a talk show. Wow, that is big news. Honestly, I didn't even recognise him. You put hair extensions on Bobby Lashley. You put a wig on Bobby Lashley. He looks completely different. Here's Andre Chase from Chase University. WWE should have never got rid of Bronson Reed. He was really great and one of the best big men going. Big Boy Dally said Frankie Monet as champion equals views by millions. These two get pushed back. Shoulder tackle by Odyssey. Crossbody by Odyssey. Lashing out with Lashley. Lashing out with Lashley. Well, let's see what that's like. I don't remember the old NXT having a talk show segment. So it's certainly something different. The two small men will lose. Collide into the corner and they go down. Reed is better than Jones. Who are these two Muppets? I don't know. Odyssey going up to the second rope. Oh my god. Oh, that looked pretty brutal in all fairness. Odyssey doing a splash off the second rope does look brutal. Wow, that's cool. Andre Chase with a chair and he swings it. Odyssey Jones. Odyssey Jones kind of like knocks the chair, the seat of the chair out. Rest of the days, that was like watching a younger Daniel Bryan trying to distract a younger Mark Henry. Maybe they should rename this WWE Clones. Hey, there's Bout It, Bout It! Bout It, Bout It! Say it! Say it! Say it! He better say it. He better say it. Come on! Yeah. 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 Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, women. Damn. They fine. They fine. Are you bout it though? No! Ever! This is the worst! Ah! It's literally, he's got a catchphrase that he says week 1, we don't get it week 2. Guys, here we go. This is the adult content that we were talking about. Control yourselves, men. Control yourselves. Oh my god, guys. I'm a mess right now. I am a mess. How am I meant to concentrate on a wrestling show when all my senses are just going insane? Extreme. Extreme. Bout it, bout it. They're pretty hot. Austin said, yes, we didn't hear it again. This is stupid. Best thing about last week. Women... Yeah, it was the best thing about last week. Bout it, bout it. I missed last week's episode. Why didn't someone tell me she dyed her hair brown? Says Corvid. She dyed her hair brown. Yeah, it was a big reveal last week. It was like this. And we were like... It's just non-stop drama last week's NXT 2.0. We were just like... Oh my god. I remember we were saying it was like that's as big as The Undertaker losing his streak was when Mandy Rose was like... But I'm over it now. But that's the sexy bit right there. That's the bit where we're all meant to be like, hubba, 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 hubba. I'm going to tune into NXT 2.0 every week just so I can see Mandy Rose walk out. Because I'm a man and I'm simple. I mean, not fair. It's not too far from the truth. I think the second hour of NXT has been okay, says WWE TJ8. Austin said, I'm surprised they didn't hear about it. Mandy dyeing her hair was the biggest thing that happened in wrestling history. I agree with that. JP said, Toxic Attraction is setting women's wrestling back 20 years. And that is an achievement. That is an achievement. To say that you are single-handedly setting back women's wrestling by 2 decades. I mean, that is an achievement. Jordan said, when did Eric Bischoff start running shows again? Men have simple brain. Yes. I think you've worded that perfectly. Men have simple brain. Me have simple brain. Well, come on, let's get back. Need to get back. Need to get back to all this red hot sex appeal. Dace, do you remember the thing that was advertised in the bottom corner? Just seconds, that was her talk show. Yes, you're right. And that did say lashing, didn't it? Are you ever going to get a new couch? One day. One day. I mean, it's all right still at the moment, actually, but definitely getting the usage out of it. I know that much. I would like to see Carmelo Hayes join Hit Row. WWE is coming home this fall. Excitement. Good vibes. OMG. It hits different live. Get it going now. Tickets available now. There we go. Look at all these places they're going. They're going to Wichita. They're going to Charleston. It hits different live. Bailey? I thought it was Bailey on the door. But it's not. It's the Jacket Man. Jacket Man burning through a thin animal. It's my favourite Elton John song. Jacket Man. Jacket Man burning through the thin. I swear I thought that was Bailey on the door. It was Ikemanjiro. He has got some handsome jackets. Oh my god, now I'm looking at him and all I see is Bailey. When I look at his face, all I see is Bailey. He could properly cosplay as Bailey. If you told me that was Bailey's brother, I'd be like, oh my god, it is. That dude looks like Ryan's world grew up. Dave, shout out to you. Dave in real life, hope you are well. He's got a wonderful suit collection. He has got a wonderful suit collection. Wale. Toxic Attraction in the ring. I don't know if they're facing anyone. I don't know what's happening. Let's find out. Foore. Foore. This division was in need of a woman like me. A woman. A woman that you people will never be with. They've turned Mandy Rose into Eva Marie.
Where were you guys when my face was batteredly and beaten? Huh?
Beaten.
What did you guys do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Disgusting.
Disgusting.
Really is.
Yeah.
Absolutely disgusting. You ridiculed me. I became an instant gift, replayed over and over again.
Mandy is a gift that keeps on giving. Toxic by Britney Spears should have been their theme.
Just like the way you treated Gigi and JC. But the only
JC.
difference is,
Gigi and JC.
right here, they don't give a damn about what you people think.
They don't give a damn about what you people think.
I can give these women, you know what they showed me? They showed me behind this
Mandy isn't good at a promo, is she? No.
is ready to be unleashed. This is what the future of the women's division in NXT 2.0 looks like. And I'm ready to take over your precious, greatest women's division of all time in all sports entertainment.
I'm ready to take over your precious women's division.
Gigi, take over. The pain of my past has always fueled my aggression. And I knew that if we could break that out of Mandy, nothing would stand in our way.
I'm scared of Mandy Rose.
Because chaos without a purpose is just an accident waiting to happen. And Mandy's experience brought us that purpose. And with that,
There's a lot of talking.
it is what will lead us to the top of NXT 2.0. And say what if you don't think I'm the hottest thing alive, okay? Yeah.
We are done, Mandy. You are a rocky girl.
We're not just some pretty faces in the crowd.
Mandy is Brock. Gigi Dolan is another Rhea Ripley. Mandy needs a good finisher. This is cringe, says Shola. I bet everyone sipping would be turned off if they... Oh, it's gone. This is cringe. The show's boring, says Kevin. This sucks. There's his face. Oh, God, this isn't very good. This show needs more Von Wagner!
And Io Shirai, we got an ass kicking waiting for you. And trust me,
It's just a lot of people saying, oh, you don't know what I can do. I'm the best here. I'm going to dominate this. Blah, 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 blah. It's, listen. Say something or don't say anything at all. Yeah? How about that? How about you actually go out there and say something? Here's some star power. Here's some star power. Got a little bit of Io Shirai. Got a little bit of Zoe Stark. A little bit of arguing. Who the hell's this now? She looks like Jeannie. She looks like Jasmine.
my best friend, which I do, she's gonna win another chance at those tag team titles. Good luck next week.
NXT is a new promo show. Right, what we got now? Is this? Are we at the main event? 20 minutes to go. Right, here is Pete Dunne and Ridge Holland. Right, main event time. We're getting some more Bron Breakker. The Bruiserweight. Pete Dunne and Ridge Holland versus Bron. It's Bron Breakker, isn't it? I keep saying Breaker, but I think it's Breakker. And Tommaso Ciampa. Boom. Toxic Attraction is Beautiful People 2.0. Toxic Attraction promo was pure sewerage. What do you think of the new NXT relaunch? I think it needs time. That's what I think. I genuinely think it needs time. I think that we are missing star power this week. I think we are trying to use the 2 hours to get across the new faces. I think, yeah, I mean, if we had like Johnny and Candice and Indi and Dexter and Shirai and, you know, there's a few people that are missing. But yeah, it's missing a bit of star power. There's a few things, there's a few people that you're looking at. Like, I'm kind of interested in that Cora Jade and Trey Baxter. If they're in a relationship, I actually think their promo backstage, those two, it felt quite real. So, you know, that Toxic Attraction thing, just scripted nonsense. Just nonsense, right? But the backstage bit where, like, he was actually down because he lost the match. And he's like, and she comes in, she's like, what's wrong? And he's like, didn't you see earlier? And, like, you know, it felt like a real conversation that couple were having. Like, I actually thought that was really good. Like, I want more of that. I like that kind of locker room talk. I thought that was done really well. I didn't need what Joe Gacy did at the start of his match where he was whatever. I think the Chase University thing was a misstep. I think Toxic Attraction might have been the worst part of the show. I think there was a match earlier that was good. I can't remember. Kushida, Roderick Strong. I thought that was good. I wasn't a fan of that opening segment. It's going to take time, this is. I agree with what a lot of people were saying. Like, there's just a lot of new faces. And I think there's a lot of stuff that's not bedded in or settled down yet. I think there's going to be a lot of trial and error. Do you remember when Becky Lynch came in and she was like the dancing Irish woman? I mean, she didn't stay that way for long. Or when, like, Alexa came in, she wore blue and she was, like, throwing glitter around. She didn't stay that way for long. It tends to be when some of these people first come in. I mean, when Nikki Cross came in, she all on the same show. So I think that's what that's kind of what this feels like. We're trying a lot of stuff here. We are trying a lot of stuff. And I would say that 75% of it isn't landing at the moment. So, not making for a great episode, but I think, you know, you fast forward a few months and we will be somewhere in a couple of months' time. My favourite bit, actually, might have been, I love that, I did enjoy that little backstage bit with Baxter and Cora Jade. I did like B-Fab and Elektra Lopez. I think that was good. I'm really looking forward to them facing each other. I think the Creed brothers look cool. It's a shame we haven't seen them this week. So, my thoughts on the relaunch are, give it time. Let's give it time. I think they're trying to shove new talent down our throats, says Eddie. I will give this is the worst NXT 2.0 ever. My favourite was Hero. Next week, Zoe Stark and Io Shirai takes on Gigi Dolan and JC Jane. So, women's tag titles next week. Also, next week, we got the women's championship on the line as Raquel Gonzalez takes on Frankie Monet. Must say, next week's show's looking all right. That's two pretty big matches. Also, we've got Roderick Strong defending against that Grayson Waller. So, don't know much about Grayson Waller, but, I mean, Roderick Strong always gives you a decent match. So, okay, that'll be 3 alright matches. And we are at main event time. You got to dress up as something for Halloween. Here's Braun. I don't know if it is Breaker. Breaker. It is Breaker. Braun Breaker. Can't wait for the draft. Robin said it looks like they're saving the good stuff for next week. Kevin said, do you think Io Shirai is hot? I should imagine it is warm in there, yeah. It looks warm. Sonny says, yay, we're almost done. Wow. We're almost done. Austin said, next week NXT already looks better than this week. I completely agree. I completely agree. Right, we are 13 minutes left. Next week looks good, but I have a question. Where are the tag titles? MSK have got them, haven't they? And I feel like we saw them get defended a few weeks ago. I can't even remember who it was against. But I feel like we saw them defend them a few weeks ago. We haven't even seen... Have we seen MSK yet? And I don't think we saw them last week, did we? Against the ropes goes Ciampa. Yeah. Fast-paced. Backslide. Has felt a bit like a house show in a way, this. Maybe like you won't get like those kind of promos, but you know, like how it's a lot of like talent that you don't really know, and then it builds up to a big main event, and you get the odd star kind of dotted throughout. Like Roderick Strong opens the show, so Roderick Strong and Kashida open the show. Then you get like a load of people you're not sure about and haven't heard of. Maybe the odd person you do know, like Odyssey Jones. And then boom, big main event at the end where you get Pete Dunne, you Ridge Holland. Get to see someone that they've clearly got a lot of expectations on with Bron Breakker and Tommaso. MSK were at the Index wedding. I don't know if I saw them, but I totally believe you. From an AEW fan perspective, it's hard to get behind someone like Grayson Waller, who just appears for the first time and gets a title shot. Just say no. Why should you say yes? Yeah, you don't have to. It's absolutely right. I don't quite know why Roderick Strong agreed to it, to be honest, as a heel. Should have really done what Becky's been doing and just keep saying no. Big strike by Ridge Holland. Which is better? Hero or Bout It, Bout It? Wow, it's disappointing. Next week? Oh, man, next week is B-Fab Elektra Lopez. Oh, my God, so next week we get the women's title match. Women's tag team title match. Roderick Strong in action. Forget that it's for the title against some dude. Roderick Strong always gives you a good match. And the match I'm really genuinely looking forward to, B-Fab against Elektra Lopez. Genuinely, next week looks good. Straight up, genuinely, it looks good. And then hopefully we get a little bit more development of these people that we've seen. So, okay, not a good episode this week, but one that hopefully will set us up for, you know, what's to come. Next week is definitely bout it. Next week looks awesome. Knee drop by Pete Dunne on the arm of Tommaso. We got 9 minutes to go. Next week's better, yes. Joint manipulation. Pete Dunne drives the knee into the arm of Tommaso. Bending back the arm of Tommaso. And he stomps on the ribs. Days, when WWE 2K22 comes out, will you do a series of some sort? Probs not. Probs not, because I don't know when I'd get the time. I mean, like, we're doing Premier League football of a weekend, Champions League during the week. I mean, there's just no time. Do you think the show will feel better when Triple H comes back? Yes. I think NXT has always been Triple H's baby. I think Triple H knows what fans like. I think when he comes back, it'll probably feel a bit more... I want to say a bit more like the NXT we know. But, I mean, they are clearly trying to give us a slightly different NXT. But, yeah, I've got to think adding Triple H back into it is going to make it feel better. But I think it'll feel better once we know some of these people a bit more as well. Pats on the back for Tommaso. Ridge Holland, shoulder tackle, and Tommaso goes over the table. Ridge Holland has got Tommaso. And we go to commercial break. Days, MSK defended the titles versus Danny and Oney. Bunyan, 420, shout out to you. Sorry for the hat comment. I was goofing off. I didn't see a hat comment, to be honest, so don't worry about it. Eddie said Vince needs to go. 8 days. Oh, we read that one. What do you think about Ciampa being champ? Do you think it was the right choice? I kind of think with so much change, you probably do need like someone at the top that we all know and love. So I mean, like, you could have gone with LA Knight. You could have gone that way, but he's not been around all that long. But I think I would imagine if you're into NXT, then there's a good chance that you know who LA Knight is. You know that it's Eli Drake, and you'll be aware of his career anyway. But yeah, it probably was the right choice. It probably was the right choice. I don't think you was going to go with Von Wagner. It's a bit too soon for him. I think LA Knight, he's not been around all that long, but I think, you know, you could have gone with him, but maybe he doesn't quite have the star power yet. Maybe he's not like big enough star yet. Whereas Tommaso, I mean, Tommaso's been in for years and years and years, hasn't he? He's had some incredible matches. You always know that he's going to give you a good promo. He's going to give you intense matches, good matches as well. If someone can beat Tommaso, then, you know, that's significant. If someone beats LA Knight, it's not... I don't know, I think LA Knight's beatable, but Tommaso, in order to beat Tommaso, you've got to go to a pretty dark place. You've got to go pretty extreme. So that means that if they are going to put the title onto some young up-and-comer, and he's going to win it from Tommaso, that's going to feel quite significant. But I think more than that, I just think that you needed to put it onto someone that, when they're in the main event, like now, you feel like, yeah, this is a main event. This feels like a main event to me because Tommaso's in it. I don't know if it would feel quite as big if it was LA Knight. Because LA Knight just hasn't been around as long. He's not been involved in, like, as many feuds. We haven't had, like, you know, incredible matches, incredible moments. There's been so many great Tommaso moments that with so much change, it probably does make sense that the captain is, you know, someone that we know and love. Just for now. Once everything settles down, then we can start really exploring who the champion is. But I think people were pretty happy about, like, Tommaso winning and Goldie being back and all of that. It was kind of a nice little way to tie over the old NXT to this new NXT. So yeah, I was fine with it. Dave, shout out to you. Catch you tomorrow. Austin said Odyssey Jones or Carmelo Hayes would be my picks to beat Ciampa. Messi is out when PSG play Man City due to knee contusion. Oh, that's big news, Ryan. Here's Bron. I mean, I'm pretty sure Bron's going to be a future champion. I don't know when they're going to do it. Look at that, just planting down. If we still had, like, Carrion, that could have been good. You know, Carrion and Scarlett would have really helped if they were still in NXT. It's got, like, an accolade finisher. Pete Dunne, not taking this accolade very well. His knee's quite far forward, unless that's part of the move. I always think it looks better when they're, like, laid out flat. But Dunne wasn't quite like that. Steiner recliner. Is the knee normally forward though? Cross is in Buried Town. Slams him down. 2. Ciampa makes the save. Pete Dunne in forearm strike. Debut of Lashing Out. Lash Legend. Debut of Lashing Out, the Lash Legend. Knee strike by Tommaso. Clothesline into the corner. Tommaso against the ropes. Big strike. Pete Dunne goes down. Belly to belly. Ridge Holland chucks Tommaso. Bron chucks Pete Dunne. Are we going into an overrun here? Are we going into overrun? Mintice said, I talked about the fact that I don't know who the tag champs are, and it got me thinking, who's the North American champ? It's Isaiah Swerve of Hit Row. But in all fairness, I had that same thought a few weeks ago where I couldn't remember either, so I totally get it. Ciampa stomping on the arm of Pete Dunne. Step up Insiguri. Ciampa goes out the ring. Bron grabs Pete. NXT has enough programming for Raw. Ryan said, this is wrestling. Here's Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly's come down. O'Reilly has come down. Ciampa's got Pete Dunne. DDT to Pete Dunne. Braun has got Ridge. Oh. 1, 2, 3. He's definitely going to be a champion. Braun has got it. You can tell. Yeah. What the heck? Kyle O'Reilly. Is he wearing Dogface Kremlin boots? Braun looking at that championship. Ciampa trying to get Goldie back. Braun not wanting to release it, but he finally does. There we go. James Kenny. Good luck for tomorrow. The press was a bit awkward. Yeah, I thought it was an alright main event. It was alright. Should have kept the name Rex Steiner. Yeah, the Steiner name would have been so much better. I hope Drew gets drafted to SmackDown and feuds with Roman. I love their match at Survivor Series. I would love to see that again in the near future. Joe Gacy watching everyone at this moment. Wade Barrett says, are we actually sure that Bron Breakker is a rookie? Because he's not acting like one. Tommaso Ciampa looking lovingly at Goldie. And looking over at Bron. Getting your thoughts then. Getting your thoughts. What did you think about NXT this week? Jonathan says 5.9. Daniel says 5. It's done. Bron sounds like a jobber name. They should have used Steiner. Mintai said, I watched the show. High. So I'm giving it 8 out of 10. Febin said, do you think Breakker wasn't given the Steiner name in fear of fans turning on him? No, I think it's probably more to do with copyrights and trademarks, would be my guess. Austin said, full-time score 5.5. I was entertained in the second hour. Daniel says 5. Mr. NXT says 7. Brad G says 6. Sonny says 5.8. Michael said, I don't think they're going for overruns anymore. Heck of a main event, says Big Boy Dally, 7.5. Burn It Down says 6. Justin says 5. 1987 Big Fan says 5.5. Sonny says 5.8. 7 out of 10, says Robin. Brony said, I missed the whole match. I thought there was going to be an 8-minute overrun. Kevin said, Ring of Honor isn't doing any more live shows because they're scared of the Delta variant. Sonny, good night to you. Jeremy says, I think I won't be tuning in for a while. I don't have any desire to see what happens now. That is part of the problem. I mean, you do this big relaunch and like this second show might have had some people tune in that were intrigued by something they saw off the first, but how many people are tuning in by... Well, in all fairness, the second show wasn't brilliant, but I do think what they've set up for the third show looks very, very good. So I definitely would recommend tuning in next week. So I do think that Elektra Lopez versus B-Fab could be a lot of fun. I do think that Frankie Monet against Raquel Gonzalez is probably worth a watch. Io and Zoe are always good, so them taking on Gigi and JC should be decent. Roderick Strong in action as well. So, yeah, I mean, for me, do you know, I'm actually going to be a bit controversial. And I'm probably going to go a bit lower than all of you because I was quite into last week. And I think, I just think this is a real come down. So I actually agree with a lot of where I was actually a little lower, probably than where you lot were at the halftime score. I think the main event was fine, but it wasn't like, it wasn't anything that like really blew my mind. But it was fine. It was fine. It was just solid. It was just a solid main event. So that was probably enough to just like push the score up a touch. But I don't know. That second half did give us that toxic attraction thing. And I mean, toxic is probably the word I would use for it. But they have set up like a decent next week. But I really don't want another show like this, to be honest. I really don't want another show like this. I think, yeah, I don't want to. I know why they've done it, and there was bits that on this show that I did enjoy, but I have to say that this was below average. Like, if 6.5's average, like we're well below it. This isn't what I would be looking for in NXT. If it was going to be like this every week, then I would really be struggling, because I thought a lot of the promos seemed a bit off. A lot of matches that just I didn't care about. Be perfectly truthful though, we keep saying the same things again and again and again. I sound like a broken record. I think a lot of it is to do with the fact we just don't know who some of these people are, or who most of these people are. There was a real lack of star power. Like, there was no Indi, there was no Dexter, there was no Johnny, there was no Candice. There was just like a bit of a lull in regards to like some of that top talent. But I think they've set up next week really well. I think that there was definitely some bits on here. Like, I thought Kushida Roderick Strong was decent at the start. And as I said, you know, you look at that kind of like Cora Jade backstage little locker room promo, and then you kind of look at that and go, oh, I like them too. I reckon there's something there. And I really like B-Fam, and yeah, I am like a broken record. Like, the things I like, I thought were decent, but it's probably more that missed the mark for me this week. So we'll see what next week's got to bring. Big shout out to everyone that's joined us. I hope it wasn't too painful for you, or at least I hope you got something from it. And I hope you're excited for AEW tomorrow, which looks like it's going to be a fantastic show. And NXT next week does look like it's going to be all right. So, yeah, awesome. Right, guys, appreciate the support. Have a good evening wherever you are. And hopefully see you again next time. Bye for now.